Welcome to our channel Tech on Target. This video will be going to be on Terraform module. We will see all the resources of Terraform like resource group to advanced LB application gateway. All resources we will see how we can create them via Terraform. So without wasting time, let's start. You can see we have a resource file there. Resources there or your resource group, and before starting this video you should authenticate with Azure by doing AJ login, and when you do AJ login it will redirect to your browser page where you can do the login with your credential. So we can start. First we have to define the resource, then we have to define the which resource we want to use. Like here I am going to create the resource Azure resource group, then space, then we have our local reference name. That could be anything, depending upon your own understanding you can define anything. Okay, then we have its block, code block, in which we pass the different option. I have considered these options which are mandatory field, like I have to give a name to resource group and location where I want to create that. So I am naming this file main.tf file. You can give any name, but best practice and to follow a hierarchy, we should give a name main.tf file where we have our resources. So that's the view of UI of your resource group. We have created a resource in the Qatar Central, so we will create here because I'm using free tier. There are some limitation of free tier that you can't make more resources than 4 core of CPU. So that's the code I'm going to create. I have taken the example from the registry of Terraform. Anything you want, any code you want, just go to registry and search for that particular code and you will get that code. Same here, when we run this code, it will create our resource group via name of demo RG in the location of Qatar Central. So you should have Terraform there installed, plus Azure CLI, plus you have authenticated that prior to running the Terraform. Okay, you should have Azure CLI, plus you do AJ login, and then you are just a simple step, and you are ready. Now if we see, we are in the demo Azure infra folder. Okay, that's the spelling how you should write that particular token login. How do you do that? Then your browser will open and you just go to redirect there and pass your credential there, user and auth, then you are ready to go. Now I will tell you the Terraform commands which we will going to use there. As we have the resources on our portal with the same name which we have created manually, I'm going to delete that, and each and everything we will maintain through our Terraform code only. When you why I'm doing that? Because it's not the best practice. Some of your infra you are managing manually, and some of the infra you are managing through Terraform. All when you are using the Terraform, you should go with the Terraform. So let's start with the first command, Terraform init. What it does, it initialize the .terraform directory in your code, plus a log file is generated. So in the .terraform directory you have required modules, plugins, providers there. What are the providers? Like I am using this particular that's the version of your provider hash group. It's saying the information about that. There should be a log file which is locking the Harshigov Terraform version, so that there might be any changes in the future, in some option get expired. So due to that, our code will not affect, and it will still run on the previous version. So what I'm talking about the provider, what are the provider like AWS, Azure, and GCP are the provider, and Terraform deals all with the multi providers. When it it has to deal or authenticate with the through by our Azure CLI with the Azure, it use the provider. So then second command is the Terraform FMT. Terraform init is for initializing the Terraform, and Terraform FMT is checking the syntax only, not configuration, syntax only, and it will correct the syntax. Then we have Terraform validate. It only does one thing. It does the validate the, like in the key, we have written the in the key pair form, but it is right or not. Like in the name you have given something, not string, not given, you have passed anything, and that is not relevant, that will checked in the Terraform validate. And then we have okay, it is giving us the error. You should use the feature block. We should here have there. Okay, we don't have there. We use a feature block. Feature block is must. Either we are using this feature block empty, but like when you are creating the virtual machine where user wants to hold the disk after deletion of the particular VM, that settings can be passed in the feature block. For current purpose, current time, we don't have that kind of scenario in our space. We are just going to use the resource provider. We are mentioning the provider, and I have tell you about the provider. We have not mentioned we have to go to the Azure. So here now we have defined the provider. Under that provider we have given the feature block which is empty. Okay, if you now check the Terraform plan command give you a preview of what Terraform will do when you apply. It will not do anything, it will just give a preview that things can happen, that it is not guaranteed about that that this thing will happen or ever. What is the difference between validate and plan? It's give a preview, plus it's check more again. If you have passes string, that's okay, but that string value is matched according to the platform or not, that will be checked. And it's saying that resource it will going to create that, it will create that particular resource. Okay, then we have checked everything. Everything is working fine. Now we are going to apply that. When I have written that command, particular command Terraform apply, you can see that terraform.tf state log.info file is created, plus terraform.tf state is created. Terraform tf state is this file which will hold the state of your Terraform infra created by your Terraform. Plus, while it is creating the infra, it will lock the state of the Terraform that no other one can use the Terraform code at that time. Because if one person is sending request for one resource group, other person sending of two resource group, and third one person is sending request for deletion group, it will create puzzle for Terraform to solve, and not good for your system to create. So it is saying that it has created the resource group. Now we will see demo, what we have given the name. I think we have given the name of it's demo RG. Yeah, that is created, and you can see that pop-up is coming that 6,000 something is left. When you create the free account, it will give you the 14,000 amount, and 1 month of period to learn about the Azure. So we are working under a subscription, and this subscription is free trial. Under that subscription, we have created a resource group in particular region, but resource group is just a logical boundary. If anybody of you is aware of Kubernetes, in the Kubernetes we have namespace, and same like namespace we have our resource group in Azure. We don't have same service in AWS. If you people like to compare with other clouds, resource group comparison or parallel service is not there. Okay, under resource group we will create we will create network, and you know very well how we create the network. When we are going to create the network, we need a private network, that is vnet, virtual network. What is the virtual network? In the cloud we get a separate space or a separate set of IPs where we can host our application, host our server, different things we can do. Okay, that's one thing. And we can break this network into many subparts according to our need, like one type of application or front end different we will hosting in as one subnet. Okay, I will tell you how we create the vnet in the first in the portal, then we will see through code. We will type here the name of the resource group. First we select the subscription type. We should give name as per the standard of the Microsoft. It's not consider the underscore there, it's only go with the hyphen there. So demo vnet, and then location name, then hyphen 001. That's the I can give any name, but that's what Microsoft suggests you to do while doing naming of your resources. Then you can select your particular IP or IP addresses, like you can say CIDR range for your VPC. Under that you can create different subnet at that time, or you can create later time. There are different options you have, attaching net gateway and other stuff. It's giving the error because we have not written the fully, and you can either choose net gateway or not choose, whatever you want. There is one thing, if you are not creating the net gateway, not creating the IGW, not creating the route table in the Azure, that's not mandatory, but Azure is taking care of that part. If you are not putting it, by default it's creating to support your network in automatic way. Okay, we are not going to select the service endpoint, but you wanna give any service endpoint, like your vnet want to communicate with the any Azure service internally without going to the internet, that can be happen. Okay, then we have the security. I'm not going to make it through the UI, but I'm giving you the hint, because before writing the code you must know how the things going manually, because if you are not aware about the how to do it manually, you can't do it in the automatic way. Because first rule of the automation is the doing things manually with detail, and then we have review and create option. Whatever the name and everything you have given, they're separately there occur, but when one thing as a whole, as a group of details, they are suitable to each other or not, they will check. Okay, list validation passed means everything, the settings and all the stuff we have given, they are passed. Again we have to search for the Terraform code, your vnet Terraform, and you will go. Everything is available on registry. We don't have to much. We don't have to much uh, put our pain on that. Code is easily available. When you want to add advanced option in your code to enhance the functionality as per your client or your project requirement, uh, there are published modules, very well maintained modules. There you are using the advanced level of options, and with uh, good loops and conditions they are using, you can follow off that. But when you are just doing it first time, you must go to registry and read the documentation and follow the basic code. Like here we are seeing that the Azure Virtual Network code is written over there. Under that we have the subnets code available, and we are giving tags. Tags are the important part when you create any resources. We don't have given any tags to resource group, but we must give tags to resources. It's best practice, and it will help you a lot. Okay, we will copy that particular block and then we paste after that. Okay, what it's saying, it's saying that we are going to use a resource of Azure Virtual Network. uh, Azure Virtual Network resources, they are but they are fixed name. We can't change that. After that we have written a local ref or reference name example that can be changed as per our understanding. Therefore the only the understanding of the people who either is DevOps or developer who is doing, and we can enhance the readability of the code by going there, by changing, giving it a very meaningful name. Then we have the name, whatever the name we want to give to our vnet, we can give. Okay, then we have location. If you are saying that in the location we have written the resource name Azure resource group dot its local name dot location, but we are using the local name as demo, so we should replace that. So we can say that it is the way of calling the resources from other resource. So in this particular line of location, you are seeing how we can call the resources which are created in the other resource group, the resource of Terraform, to other resource, how to call the values. Then we have the resource group name, same like location. We can give a location externally. We don't have to go to code again, but we can use at that time. We don't have that DNS server, we don't require. They are have their use case in particular type, but in today's scenario we are my main motive is to create a Terraform code from beginner to advanced. We will see the advanced services, and we will try to cover much as service we can. If you have any suggestion to involve more information, and but I don't want to enhance the complexity, but your feedbacks are welcome. You can give any suggestion wherever you want. And then we have subnets. We are giving the subnet name and subnet CIDR. If you see, there are lots of options, but we don't have to pass and all the option. Terraform and Azure give them a default value. Whenever we are not setting any value, they give them a value, and that's help us to do whatever. But there are some things which are not optional, like you have to give the CIDR. If you are not giving the name, that will be okay, but CIDR you have to give. Okay, we will validate what we have written. We have just made a resource group. Now we are checking with the vnet. It's saying that the manage resource group example has not in the okay security group. We are directly aligning to our subnet. For being the time, we will not go in the later part of the video. We will go to create security group, network security group. But in today part, change the environment also. It's giving the putting a tag of environment equal to demo. Now it's validated. We can check by running plan command and wait for the result. What it say. Making network is free of cost. We got billing free of cost, very low cost. It's not free of cost, I'm sorry for that. Very low cost network, not make much cost. It is the resources of compute resources like vmss make the billing part heavy. So Terraform apply, and we can pass the hyphen auto hyphen approve with the Terraform apply. What it does when we apply the Terraform apply command, after checking things, it will again ask you for yes, I'm going to make these changes in your network. Are you sure you want to continue? And then we will put yes, and then it's create the or add the infra. But in current scenario, what it will do, it will not ask for. Once you shoot that particular command, it will go and create the info, as it is not asking us, and it's started giving us the information that it's creating the Azure virtual network demo, because resources group is already created, and it's continuously gives you information that I'm going to create, I've created, and give the information about the that's all this stuff we have seen. Saying that it's created. Okay, well done. Now we have created the two resources of the Azure for resource group. Then vnet, under that we have also created subnet. I'm hoping that you are very comfortable with the CIDRs and how you can define the CIDR, what the /24 mean, and why we have given the /16 to vnet. If you're not sure about that, you can go to my video and go to other video where we are breaking the VPC and into different subnets according to our needs. Like we require some sort of IP like 1000 IP, and according to that we are taking the vnet, and our different application which require 200, 500, 600 IPs, according to that we are giving them the subnets. So that's much benefitable to you. Otherwise you are not able to get why we are just putting this random value. It's saying us that the Azure virtual network demo will be created. Address space 16. Okay. If you that's the Terraform TF state, what we are talking about. Like we have created the vnet, and there should be some ID which is related to that vnet. All these IDs, its detail, its CIDR, each and everything, whatever we don't pass is stored in the .terraform TF state. We have passed option to create one more vnet and subnet in that. So why I'm doing that? Because I want to show that when there is a time come when you have some sort of servers which are escalating, means at time when you start your website you are having an average of 5 to 6,000 people daily, but now time coming your customer are increasing 5 to 6 500 5,000 to 6 lakh they are increased. Now you are getting short of IPs because you have to increase the number of the servers. So what you will do, uh, you will create one more VPC, but that VPC will isolate it from other VPC that can't talk the sources uh, which are like there is a vnet A, there is a vnet B, they can't talk with each other. So it's telling us it will create a one. Let's see, wait it wait for it to get it create the resource, then we will see how we can make communication between the vnet A resource to vnet 2 resource internally, not going to the internet. We can make communication by assigning them the public IP that's giving error, a resource ID with application ID, resource group demo rg1 virtually already exist. Okay, to be managed by Terraform, this need to be import to see. Okay, you have to change the name because okay, we have given the name of example network 1 which is different from existing the above one in the code. So okay, we have again run the command and hopefully this time the vnet will be created. So where we are at, we have created the 2 vnet. Now we need a mechanism who will make communication between them. This mechanism is known as the vnet pairing. What vnet pairing does, it will enable the communication between 2 vnet. How we do it from UI, from portal, or how, then we will see how we can create it from our Terraform code. Same resources can be created with the Azure CLI, but preferring Terraform over Azure CLI over AWS CLI because sometime I got work from client from AWS and sometime from Azure. So better is that if I learn the we can say if I have learned the Terraform, you can easily switch to other. And one more thing, there are some clients who have some services on one provider like AWS and storage on other provider. So if they have only created through the Azure CLI, they will create problem for that. Here you can see that in the vnet we have pairing option, then we go to add pairing. We will give a name to our pairing link, any name, whatever you are want to give, you can give. Then we have the we have to give the our particular vnet name. Okay, then you have to add given that the traffic should be allowed from remote virtual network from our network. Example network 1 is the second network that we will create, that we have created, and we want to enable the communication. So we are not going to do it through the UI. We will look for its code, Terraform code, and then we will apply. We can check it's validating, but we have to delete that before proceeding. Till the time it's getting created, we see this. Okay, this is the Azure Virtual Network resource. that one. Here I don't like this thing. We have to use the resource to twice to make the communication happen. uh, if you are not going to use it twice as I am using, it will enable the communication one-sided, which will your request will be go to the other resources, but response will not come. So that's not made any benefit. Here local name, whatever we want we can give. We can leave it as an example one. Then we have name, pairing, whatever we want we can give. Then we have the resource group name, we should give it as our name. Then we have virtual network name, then ID. The virtual network name is we can give the first one which we have created. Then in the remote virtuals we have to give ID. Then here we will give the ID of second. We have just checked, we have created with that. Okay, we have created Azure virtual network with the demo one name. Okay. Here we have created it's with the name of demo, and second one with the demo one. Okay, we have to change it from example to demo one dot id. Same we have to change in the below code, but you want to guess where should I change this? In the virtual network name, what should I change? Anyone want to guess? Any one of you, if you like to mention, you can comment. Okay, then we have second one. Here we will give we will give demo. First we have made that from my VPC 1 to VPC 2, one path is I'm sending, it's receiving, that's done. In the second, it's sending, I'm receiving, that's done. Making the communication to work. Otherwise if you are sending data and not receiving, that will not work because it's not stateful. When we were talking about the security group, if you are not defining the things, it's work. Once I define, response will automatically come. Yeah, it's showing the status of connected. Okay, let me delete that because we have to create that from code. In the UI you see I have created this from one VPC only. I just go to the particular VPC, one VPC, and where I've given the second one name, and it created the but if you don't give use the resources twice, it will not create it from here. It's giving us some error. Resource group dot example is I think not there. We have demo. Yes, we have demo by local name. Again we have to validate if everything is fine. Okay, everything is fine, success is there. Then we have Terraform validate. Terraform plan is there. Current pairing is getting deleted. We have verified it. Now we have checking the plan, because if it is not get deleted, it will throw the error in the plan, because when we do the plan, it go to the cloud and check its resources in the real time, not just from the your TF state file. It go to the cloud and match the things. Now we have I'm passing this flag, but you have to be very conscious while passing this auto hyphen hyphen auto hyphen approve flag. Be very conscious. So now in our diagram we have created the vnet. We have created two vnets. I'm adding one more vnet there and enabling the communication through vnet pairing. Through code it's work or not, we will see. Hope you are enjoying the video and you learned the lots of things. I'm putting my lots of effort. I'm requesting you to support our channel by subscribing and liking our videos. Now we have created the subnets here. This is the mirror of what we have done till now. While the code is running, we can complete these things. Now what we are going to do, we will create VM here. VM1, we can give any name, VM1, VM2, whatever you name, because we are just going for demo purpose. When you are doing on a project, you should do as per your requirement. Like you can give the name as per your services, front end 0 that, but front end hyphen virtual machine hyphen Qatar Central hyphen 001, like that, which is suggested by the Microsoft Azure. Till now we will see how we create the virtual machine. In the portal, if you see what are the configuration we do while creating the when we go for the virtual machine, there is a service via name of virtual machine in the Azure portal. If you search the virtual machine, you will get there, and you go to the create virtual machine, and then you have the demo RG, and virtual machine name is there, is VM demo, any name, whatever you are preferring you can give. And then we have availability Qatar Central, we can take example. Availability virtual machine skill set we will see after that. Availability zone we can left. If you select more than one availability zone here, it will create three, means you can select 2 or 3. If you select 2, it will create 2 VM. If you select 1, it will create 1 VM for that. Then it's giving us the error, this size is not available. Okay, which is available then? Where if I untick the one, what? Okay, it's working fine. So then you have the login option. You can do login with the SSH key, you can do login with the password, whatever the preferable one. But in the industries we prefer the SSH key. We will create the Terraform code with the SSH key also, but being that I'm create to show you the option, I'm creating here the different things like username, password, for being the time. While when we write the code, we will create the through password plus through key. Inbound port rules. Okay, I have written the password here, so in case I forget, you will not forget, and that's why password based authentication is not preferred. which port you want to allow. Currently I'm not going to host any web application. We will do it on later time, then we will see that. Now here you can see everything is fine. Disk is by default we are using. It's giving us the option to create vnet. We have a option to create new vnet, okay, but we can use the existing one. It's not, maybe some API error. Oh yeah, now it's giving, it takes some time. You will feel, I give you a disclaimer, in the free trial you will find some its things are not working proper. So that's the nick for and that's the inbound traffic, which we have already given that we want inbound traffic as such should be there. Then here is the option which you can choose. Then whenever your instance got created, your public IP and nick card associated with that particular VM also get deleted. And if you want to associate that VM nick and IP to other virtual machine, you can unselect that. You can add this particular VM to the load balancer of both network load balancer, which is your Azure load balancer, and application gateway. You can make it as an backend or target group. We don't say target group, and you can add in the backend of that. So then you can enable the monitoring, so you can get the alerts whenever your CPU and other things you can monitor, confirm that. But being that we don't go in much complexity when we are at part of monitoring and things, then we will see. You have lots of video of Prometheus in our channel. We have Loki Grafana logging video. You can go and watch there how we can do logging. EFK, recently I uploaded how to do configure EFK and how to do application logging through that. That's the things. It's giving us the price. It's 0.9006 INR per hour. It's 1 rupees Indian per hour. I'm from India. Please write in the comment from where you are watching my videos, and hope you are understanding my language, because there are some different if you are watching from US, UK, some tone differences there. If you have any suggestion about that, I will try to do that. Now being the time we are seeing the settings in the virtual machine, our pairing is ready, and now our validation setting are also validated. We have seen all the options. Now I don't think you have doubt with that. Now you can see that we have given the name of VM demo 1 and VM demo 2. When I've selected 2 zones, it's saying that it's going to create the 2 VMs to make the highly availability. But if you want to make highly available, you create you can create the virtual machine skill set. We will create the virtual machine skill set. After that, we will also create load balancer. Stay with us. Okay, everything is fine. Standard b1s here. Because I am using the free tier, I have some limitation of CPU cores. I can't use more than 4 core of CPU in one region. So if you go here, and you will find there are lots of option of different type of instances. They are general purpose, special purpose, compound, some are compute enhanced. Lots of series are there. Some are memory optimized, some are CPU optimized. For the free tier, if your application is lightweight, you can use standard p1s. And now here we are at Terraform registry. Each and every time we need help regarding Terraform code, we will go to the Terraform registry, and here is the code. Resource Azure Virtual Network. Now we have added the network resource here. Then we have giving us the issue. Okay, now it's fine. Some issue with my local system. Sorry about that. Now here is the NIC card. We see that particular option while we are in the UI. It is the interface for our server, where IPs, public IPs, security groups will get attached. Firewall will work. You can say the communication point for the server. Then we have the another resource. Azure network interface is there, and we will have to customize that as per our use case. Then we have resource group name, example, demo name. Here in the location, I'm just it's redirecting it to get the resource group location and create resources there. We can give the other resources other location also, like we have Central India, East Australia East, I think, and Brazil South. There are many locations. If whatever you wanna give, you can give. Demo 1, Azure Virtual Network, demo 1. Okay, one is with the demo and one with the demo 1. Okay. How we will call the resources in the resources, like main resources is the Azure Virtual Network. How we will call the subnet from it, we will see in that. Yeah, all right. Demo dot subnet dot id. And we have to give the index. We can use the first subnet. There is no such condition that we have to go to second one. But why I have given indexes? Because we have subnets are like list or scale set. In the vnet we can have multiple subnet, and how we can call them? We can call them we can assume them as a list, and we will call them as a list, and we will give their index only. That's 0 means the first subnet. Whatever the first subnet, we create the instance there. So Now we have the other resource, Azure Linux virtual machine example, and that we have key part is there, and okay, that's fine. We are creating the resource with the key. Then we have admin user there, standard f2. It can create issue while we have the resource crunch here. OS disk read write standard LRS there. Then we have the source image reference canonical, okay, Ubuntu. It's giving the SQ of 16.04 LTS version latest. Now it's 22 is running as the latest version. Code is written old. So first create resources. All the customization I had made. There is nothing left. Let's check I have done the right customization in the first step or not. Okay, it's saying us the can't access set of object. Okay, did you mean access an attribute across all element? It is a set of object. It should by using a square bracket we can make them as a set of object, or we can treat it as an list, but it's throwing error again. Okay, what we have done, we have created a local variable out underscore subnet id, in with that I am calling that particular subnets, and then out of that subnet I'm creating the particular index. I have not found any way of calling them, so I have used that way to defining them, because I'm using a single file. If you are calling through the modules, you can use the data block and easily do that. If in a single file you have any better solution, you can tell me, but this solution I think is more than enough to learn, because we are not supposed to work on resources directly. We work with the different modules, and while we are working with the modules, we have the options to make data block and calling the resource easily. I think locals, some of my viewers are not comfortable with that. It's a way of writing variables, and we can create separate file variable.tf like main.tf. This is more about the Azure resources exploit, how much we can explore. So that's why I'm not creating the variable file. If we get time sometime else, we can create the variable file. Also we'll create the output file terraform.tf wars file while using that, but we will see if we got that much time in current projects or not. Okay, it's saying that your resources, that till now what we have input we have given, we can do that. If we run the apply command, let's see, it's telling us it will create two means, one nick and one VM. Let's test it will get created or not. Okay, it's get created. Activity completed, resources to added, 0 change, 0 destroyed. So we have seen how we can create network, how can we make communication between two network, and how we can launch resources, virtual machine servers on that. This is the resource which we have created, and here if you go in the networking, I think we have not created the NSG here. NSG is not there, then but we have if NSG is not there, we can't have the communication. Like we have not created a resource for the public IP, because public IP we have to make the resource. Otherwise you can see that public IP is not there, plus security groups ports are not there, and no rules, no communication. So to make the system work, make them to communicate, we have to use the NSG. And there are different details you are getting. You can go to each and every option and explore that. And that's the public IP resource. We have to use it with our code. In the Terraform, it's not procedural, means we can give anything at any place and it will execute. It's it will select which step it has to do, not like Ansible. Ansible go as per suggested by us, all the steps. It's creating the public IP with this name, accept, test public IP, static, demo. Okay, but that's the things we have created, where we have called it private IP address allocation and here is no option. I'm saying if there is a private IP address allocation, then public IP, public key is there, public IP address, I think this one is there, and where should I mention this? The primary public key address assigned to the work, that's okay. I list to the virtual machine ID. There should be one other information also. So IPs are connected at interface only. We should have done this at here only. Resource is the Azure public IP example. We should call the IP Azure public IP dot example, I think is there, and dot IP, because we have to call the IP of the public IP from that public IP resource block. Let's check first its settings are validated or not, then we will look for the other thing. Public ID is not expected, okay. Argument is not, but we define things like that only. Let's check it here. I'm just doing a hidden trial over here. Not ID, I am just mean IP only. If you are saying go with the ID, can't it's it is only based on the okay. Public key. There should be some information. So I have another blog. Here is public IP address ID. Okay. Equal to now pass this value, add that. Stack Overflow and some websites are there which are very useful while resolving the Terraform error. Terraform plan. Static, okay, we are not allocating dynamic, means if a resource get restarted, IP will remain same. You can see here is the resource group. In the resource group we are seeing all the things, all the resources which we have created in one place. That is not possible in AWS. That's the feature which make the different from AWS from its first look. Okay, it's saying this created should be it. Your network interface will be updated in place. Okay, it's also updated. Want to change 0 to destroy. Plan is getting succeeded. Now we can go for the Terraform apply. Let's wait for it. It's just first refreshing the state that the things which are in state file, they are there or not. Like it have the it created the virtual machine, it have the virtual machine ID, it's matching that in the portal it's available or not. Then only it will going to update its nick card associated with it. Okay, creating we have Azure lecture on also available on our site, but it is in Hindi language. If you want the same video to be uploaded in Hindi language, you can comment us, then we will look for to upload the video in Hindi language, because in the Hindi language we are not getting the same response what we are getting in English. So that's why we have stopped currently to make video in English language, in Hindi language. Now here you can see we have added one feature of public IP which is earlier not present, but we have not added the NSG, so that's why you are not saying the inbound and outbound traffic or port rules. I'm looking for the things. Request will be send it to VM, but its NSG is not configured. Rules are not there. Just type NSG Azure Terraform. That are the resources. Just copy it and paste. Then we will customize it as per our use case, and our NSG is also ready. Then we look for the rules. It should be created before it should be demo. Okay, inbound allowed, TCP protocol, source port star. Okay, it's only about the inbound. That's the how we can, we have created that we get code for the NSG, but we have to associate it with virtual machine. So let's look for it. Association code we require. IP configuration is it's not here. Yeah, in that blog again we are finding resource Azure network resource configuration. Okay, just below after NIC card creation we can add that particular block, so that NSG and NIC both created, and then we will add a code for association. Code file is getting very big. Network interface security group association, local name is association. I think Azure network security interface example.id is there. Group.id interface is there. Group name, we have to take care example there, and we are creating, we mention here should example. Okay, it's fine. Let's check the plan. Plan is also succeeded. It's telling us it will add two things, and then okay, it's working. Inbound traffic, any all port, any port, TCP. It's also have other rules, 65,000, 65,001, 65,500. SSH, yeah. If you remember, we have enable the SSH with the username password. Okay, now we are in the machine. That's better. That's the internal address, which is of my address of my machine. So you are inside your machine, and you can do tasks like installing application and other things. Till now we have seen we have virtual machine and we have created through Terraform. Now problem with virtual machine is that there is a resource known as LB, load balancer. We will learn about it later on after this particular topic. We have increase in traffic, so we can launch one more traffic, but we have to register the IP of that particular VM into backend of LB, then traffic will flow to it. But it's not suitable for automatic environment where we have huge number of requests coming, and they are dropping frequently. We need a person to maintain, so we have a other service known as vmss, which take this responsibility, and LB is associated with the vmss, and vmss can scale up and scale down as per we set the auto scaling configuration depending upon the CPU, memory utilization and other stuff. Okay, so like we have we reach up to a request that 3 VMs are not sufficient, v4 5 6 7 up to n number of we can scale up, and when request goes down it also scale down. So what is the benefit here? We don't have to register or enter the private IP address of the instance at all places. Okay, that's one benefit. And manual intervention is removed. Each of things will go in automatic way by itself, by managed by Azure. So I'm giving you the idea of the VMSS, what it do, why we are reading it. Then we will see is Terraform code. Maybe some of you don't know. If some of you know, you can skip that particular part. Okay. uh, Request is coming from the user end to domain, or then we have the LV. So then we have vmss, which is associated in backend group, and it's uh, redirecting it to different vmss, VM of which is created by the vmss. So in the Azure portal, if you go, you have a service by the name of virtual machine scale set. Then we will see what are the manual steps we perform here. We have seen the manual steps in the virtual machine, same are repeated, much identical are that. We will select a particular resource group under which we want to create our resources. Then we will give our resources name. Then we will select its reason. Reason are very important part. Like for some companies, some organization like banks, they can't create their DB outside of their nation. Like I'm in for India, no bank can have its database outside of India. So you have to take care of that, and choosing the right local reason will improve your latency. If your viewer base is in India, then you are not supposed to host it on your North Virginia or Qatar center. I'm just doing it for uh, demo only. Availability on, you can explicitly select, otherwise left it on for you can left it for Azure, it will auto select it. Then orchestration model you can select. Then we have security type, images, what kind of images you want to, like 21 to 22. And then we have sizes. In the previous part we have seen sizes. Here we are seeing the standard B2S. While creating standard B2S, we have problem as it's taking 2 core CPU, and we have only 1 core of 4 core of CPU availability. We have virtual machine already created, so it's also taking some. We have seen the password based authentication of SSH, how we can manage that. Just adding here the username and password, and then we will confirm the password again. There are some rules like must be 12 up to characters should be there, some alphabets, some numeric values should be there. Then when you are doing the confirm password, that should match. In the first basics, we are just giving the information like what kind of images and things we are. And here in the OS disk, we are just continue with the default one, which give us the 30 GB, unlike AWS which give 8 GB. That's not much difference in that. We have networking, which vnet it's going to host, and we can select the new one. We can create new one from here, and we can use and go with the existing one. We have to give a subnet for that. It will host vmss server on this particular subnet. We can add them directly from here to Azure Load Balancer or application gateway. Application gateway is also Azure Load Balancer, but it gives us the more flexibility to operate. We will also see that. Okay, scaling policy, like how we want to scale. We can select manually, like we want to 3 insta. We can do it via auto scaling via keeping the operation with the CPU. Like whenever CPU threshold reaches to 75% for 10 minutes for duration, continuously. Then you increase the instance by one and observe it, and whenever then user session expire and it's leave the site, whenever CPU utilization become from 40% low, reduce the instance by one. And then we have management, gas to OS update, instance termination. Permission protection can be provided. Then we have health. There are some advanced options. Tags are always optional and best practice to use. Then check and review and create. And we are ready to create. We can we're just creating that how it looks when we are creating. Till now it's creating. We look for the code of Azure vmss. That things Azure Linux virtual machine scales at Terraform you have to return. Then you will find first link of the registry. Go to that particular link and you will find the resource which will be helpful to create virtual machine skill set. Here you can see that we found it. It's using lots of things. It's again now okay, going below. As we have seen the lots of Terraform command, but we don't see the use of Terraform destroy command. We have infra created by Terraform, which we have created earlier, VMs and all stuff. Now what we are doing, we are going to destroy that particular infra. We have run command terraform destroy -- autocrew and it will lead to destroy the infra. And we have terraform.tf state file is there. When it delete, it will remove all the entries of that resources. And you are also seeing that terraform.tf state file is also created there. When we run terraform apply delete whatever command we are running second time, the current state which is present in that file is moved to terraform.tf backup state. Then we have the fresh state in the terraform.tf state. For the security purpose it maintain. Now here we can see that resource Azure Linux virtual machine skill set. Reference name is example. Then we have name example vmss. Then we have to customize the resource call from other resources like resource group name and location, SKU standard b1s, instance is one, admin user, then admin SSH key, admin user. Here we have given the we have to pass that because we haven't defined any local variables. We have seen the use of local variable while we creating. I think we are creating the nick same like you can use again. Images you can change up to 20 or 22 whatever your application is compatible with. Stable version is the 20. Most of the cases I'm using that. is asking to provide the subnet. Oh, that one. Okay. If I see it's stopped. Okay. Deleting virtual network. Okay. Why this error come? I think I have. First we see this vmss, then we go to that. This is the look of vmss resources, and this gives you basic information where it's get created, what are the resource group name. Then you can see the instance option is there, and you can see that public IP we have don't associate, and we have deployed 2 instances. Here you can see 2 instances we have given in the manual. We have chosen that's why it's created like that. We have given the minimum number of 2. Inbound, outbound is auto get created. Same was not the case when we are doing it with the code. Now here you can see all these instances have different private IPs. Its subnets is showing, location is status running. You can connect it via, you can restart it, stop it, delete it, refresh it, state, upgrade if you want. Like when you want to connect it to the load balancer, then you have to upgrade it, its state, then it will show it. Otherwise it will not become active in the status of the load balancer. Okay. As such, -i you can give its key or password, but to log in into that you need a bash host, jump server, whatever we can say, we need that to go for it. Here like we are at manual scale. If you want to increase the count, you can increase, decrease, or whenever you want to move to auto scale, want to remove the manual interface, you can go at any time. You have that visibility in the Azure. So we have seen all the options, and we have explored. That's all for the vmss UI part. If you have further more query, you can reach it, but now we have to create these things from code. So we choose to deleting that vmss. It will took little time, not took that much of time. Okay, resources are get created. Okay, here also we have deleted the resources. Now we have given the subnet ID, is done. Terraform validate, we will check. I think there is something more we require. We are not giving it. We are checking it with the plan command, what it will going to create. As we have destroyed everything, so it will create RG, vnet, subnet, each and everything from scrap. Standard P1 we have done. We have customized the name as per our use case. Instance we have given 1. We can increase from here. then it's username, admin user, SSH user we have given. Okay, we can change the username from here, and image name, latest one we are using, read write LRS, caching for demo processor, read LSR is okay, network interface, these are very identical with the VM resource, but we are defining the network resource in the outer part, not we are defining in the internal of Linux code. In the network we have IP configuration, we are giving it name, internal, primary, subnet, local dot out dot. Here I'm not going to give it public IP. We have already seen how we can assign the public IP to virtual machine. VMSs are mainly used for auto scaling purpose. They are not supposed to have the public IP. We don't use resources with the public IP. We for accessing we use bash and host, LB. This kind of practice we follow. Giving all the resources public IP not make sense. So we are ready with it. I have deleted that particular RG from our console. We can say it's console or UI, whatever you prefer. And then we are going to run this command. I hope you and me are on this same page. You just have to do one thing step by step. What I am doing, you also have to implement with me the code. Otherwise it will create problem for you, because the file is getting very clear, and we are adding the things one by one, and if you are not following doing it with me, it will create problem for you. But one my request is there, please do give your feedback. That's are the different options there, whatever the optional, whatever the required one, all things are mentioned that you have to give us that. Terraform documentation is I found HashiCorp Terraform is very useful, helpful for beginner. All the parameters, what that means, why they are optional, required, and in one condition you will use that. They are very helpful in. So I personally like these things very much. So it is creating the vnet pairing. Vnet virtual machine scale set. Okay, virtual scale set created earlier. It doesn't depend upon the virtual machine vnet pairing. That's the example VMSS we have created. We have given the only one instance. That's why we are seeing that. Same as we have created via UI, same we are finding it via our you can say via code. If you want to make some changes to the VMSS which is created from Terraform, you can create, but remember it will create a drift because state will not match. State in your state file and your actual state in your portal is different. So when it's fetch the information, it will throw you error. So I will not suggest you to do changes, but here's a question you are maybe thinking that when it will scale up, then how it will manage. Things can be managed by different there are procedure which we are following, but not supposed to do changes at major level, uh, because if tf state change, it will throw you error, and then you have to use Terraform tf state, other import. That's a no recommended one. So uh, be cautious when you are doing changes through portal. You are can't handle then after that through port, through Terraform code. So now here what we have done, I have created one more instance, and it's creating. Now I've given the destroy command. It will destroy all the infra. So till now I am assuming you are very comfortable with the Azure, and up to vmss we are very much clear. Now it's time for load balancer. What load balancer does, we have I have given a hint that some requests are coming to domain which is associated, and it's giving traffic or redirecting traffic to load balancer, which is in turn have some rules, some backends. One of backend is vmss, which where I have hosted our application, and when it's redirecting to vmss, it's something like that. One request is sending to vmss 1 to vmss 2 vm, then 3, 4th, whatever the different mechanism you have, either round robin fashion, whatever you have selected as per your requirement. That's a different thing, but it will maintain or distribute the load to all the nodes, whatever the available VMs are there. So that is the main purpose of the load balancer. In the Azure, we have total 4 types of load balancing option available, and load balancer is one of them. Load balancer is standard load balancer is there, and it is of network load balancer. If we say what we have in AWS application load balancer, here is we have application gateway, which based on host routing, path based routing, different things that of is application gateway. In this video we will see first the LB, which is standard load balancer, which is work on network layer of OSI. So latency wise it's very good. If you need only speed, then it's good, but TLS encryption is not there, so that's why it's insecure. On the other hand, application gateway is little bit having high latency, means it's slow comparison to network load balancer, but encryption is there, which makes it we can say safe, and there is no host or path based routing available in load balancer. So that was the theoretical part. Now let's move into practical part. Till now what we have done, we have already seen. We have vmss is available, and where we can host our application, and we have already seen VM which we can use as an our virtual machine. So here we are now creating a complete project for client. It's not only complete, there are many things which we can involve, like Azure private DNS, DNS zone, CDN. That's depends upon the client side, what its requirement. SKU is standard, type is what is choose standard load balancer when extreme performance is required
coupled with latency. Gateway basic type is internal, and you can use it as an public load balancer and internal load balancer. When you have to receive traffic from outside from internet, then you are using the LB which is faced toward the which accept the traffic from the internet, which have the public IP address. But when this VM, we have vmss1, and this is something like front end, then we have back end, then we have database. uh, if our front end is enhancing or not enhancing, not is scaling, then load on a middleware layer or backend layer will also increase. How it will can handle that request by one instance or one VM? It also need to be scale, but when it scale, how we will manage traffic? We can manage the traffic by using simple steps like creating. We just have to we can manage the traffic just by creating a internal LB and pointing that particular traffic. Like here I am creating just database, which we can think as a managed service of MySQL, which is outside of our VPC, which is not our hosted. But when which VMS is going, how it's going, it's great problem. We as we have to make entry each and every time, but that's much more complex when you have three directory middleware. In the middleware layer you need that LB particularly. If I say that you don't have to hit for the IP of your that you that instance, you can hit to LB, and LB will redirect it to your destination. You don't have too much focused on the IP of particular instance. So idea is we are not focusing, we are making it independent of the static thing. Here we can also use one service, private DNS zone. So we are also not writing the IP address, their public or private of LB. We are just using it private IP address and creating a record set, so that our dependency is on, if I can say, dependency on private IP address will be removed, and we can use it perfectly, or traffic flow will not be breaked. Main point is that, and developer don't have that kind of dependency. He has to go to servers and check its IP and then write down it in the code. That's not the best practice. It either it's can at db.example.com and it will get resolved, and that's task of the private DNS which create the endpoint. Okay, so we have also learned a service. We have also seen a service of private DNS zone, how it's work, how it can help in us. Okay. Okay, it's work on TCP layer, high latency is there, encryption is there. Okay, till we create a LB and VMSs we already have, we attach them in their backend, and then we will see how the things work. First we will check the manual things. All the things I tried to make you give the understanding what we require and how we will do that. We have to add a front-end IP configuration. We will add public IP in case of outward and private IP address in case of inward. As we have selected public IP. So we just give a name. It's giving us error that special characters are not allowed. Okay, IP for choose public IP can be associated, can't be accept. We don't have any free IP available, so we can create new one. And we are not going, we don't have in our resource group or our, we can say that. It's not like that we don't have IP address in Azure. We have IP address in Azure, but not in our resource group. Okay, basic is done, front IP done, now backend pool. We can add that as an add backend pool. Backend pool is like target where we want to redirect our traffic. Here we can add direct VM and vmss. We can give any name, whatever our understanding is saying, just for our understanding. Nick is not there. IP, if we check, let's see later on. Whatever, we have created a backend via name of LB backend. Basic front end backend is done. Now from front end to base backend traffic, how it will flow, that we have to check. All these things we are just discussing, we have to write it down. We have to take write it code in the Terraform, then we will need to apply. So LB rule version is IP4, front end IP configuration, and backend we have selected TCP backend pool LB backend. Okay, it got unselected, and that's why it's throw error. Port, we will have the request on port 80, and port 80 it will be redirected. Probe probe name, which we can give anything. Protocol HTTP, we can give TCP, will also work, no issue. But as we have traffic, HTTP is more than enough. Okay, inbound net rule. Inbound we can also access the instances or target group via using load balancer. We just have to define the rules here, like name of it's virtual machine backend. It's just simple, you can do that. Then outbound rule, how will outer traffic will flow. When you are creating the internal load balancer, you will not find the option to create outbound rules. So you may find issues like internet is stopped, internet is not working in the target group associated with internal load balancer. Then what you can do, I give you a solution of that. You can create a NAT gateway and then associate it will work fine. Available front end ports 6, 3, 9 and 2. It's very general code that we are implementing. You need more uh, I think more much than more things to be implemented to make it a very good Terraform code. Like we've just created a security group, not added much rule. You have to very precise with the rules. That's the configuration. It's saying that configuration is created, and we can check it by first. You can see that it's created the public IP. Now resources are ready. Just go to the resources, and this is the view of LB on Azure portal. It's giving us the basic information: resource group, backend pool, backend rule, health probe, front-end IP. You can see that front-end IPs we get. Then we have backend, which we have created, health probe, load balancing rules, but we have given inbound net rules. All the different options are there which we can explore. This is the LB backend. There is nothing is available here. Now let's add a resource in the backend. We have just created backend, not add anything. Here is the vmss which we can add it. Now vmss is there. We have to save it. But what I am looking for, it should give us full information in the target. But neither is resource name, resource status, IP address, nothing is showing. What might be the issue? Let's go to the vmss. And just upgrade them. Now you see resource, targets, everything will show there. First we see the health status. Okay, that's fine. Here we go inside the our just copy it. As we have selected the port while we are writing the LB rules, you have seen we have configured it on port 80. So just if we hit, I don't think it will show because we haven't configured the service yet. Now we will configure the service. We have the service like Nginx, Apache, and other services are also there. Tomcat is there. Tomcat port is different, so let's go with Nginx only. Yes. It's working. Processing triggers. So I have used our VM as a jump host, and I jump to the vmss. Then we have installed Nginx on that, and now port 80 we don't have to mention. Now it's working. We are getting response on port 80. We can give a name or simple file. What I want to do, I just want to show you the how load balancing will work, because to test the thing we need some result to verify things. So it's just a normal janking Nginx configuration. Yeah, it's fine. Let's go back to and go to other instance of vnet. Two 2.5, go there. We are doing this stuff because we need the proper information, confirmed information before writing the code, because if we are not confirm about the our work, we are not confirm about the manual process, we are not, our code will never work. So all the things which I am doing now is for the confirmation, is what we have configured, it's working fine or not. Sudo apt install nginx. Sorry for the spelling mistake. So I have configured the same, and it's giving us the response of hello, I am VM2. Now here we some browser, it's giving us the response of hi, I am from VM2, I am VM2 or VM1. If we check the call response, it's giving us the call response in proper way, but when we are doing through the console, it's not giving that frequent. It may be some storing the temporary cache or cookies there, that's why. Okay, so it's now it's working fine. We have all the our manual steps required to make it's working, the Terraform code or required for the Terraform code. So demo will be, we can delete, and we will create the same from our what it's saying. We just see how we can configure the internal LV. There is no difference, just instead of public IP, here we add the private IP. Private IP, it will take from the subnet which we will offer it. We can choose as a static, dynamic. Everything is same. After that, we just in the front end IP, we don't have that public IP. Then we have backend pools, inbound rules, and one more difference is there. Inbound rules are remain same. Port of front end IP, then port, backend probe, health probe. Everything you can say path is slash, interval is 5. We can add that. Outbound rule, here you can see that you not have option to add the outbound rule. That's the main difference. Then we check the configuration validation that it's valid. So you have seen public load balancer, private load balancer. What is the difference between that, and what is the difference in the execution level? Mainly what configuration point, where are they differ, and what to do with that. Same way you can configure it. You can have response on call only. You don't have much option, And if you want to see internal LV response on browser, you can use OpenVPN. I have a video on OpenVPN available on my channel. If you want to use that, you can use. It's very easy to use. Create OpenVPN profile and use that. And Linux is my favorite web application to host the website. Please tell in comment which is your favorite. In the LV, we just add the IP configuration. We're not seeing resources, we add it through IP. It was 6 or yeah, that line. You just save it and it will just resolve internally. If you want to resolve it on other vnet, you can use like you can use the private endpoint, private DNS zone, and that will make you much help. Okay, it's giving us the front-end IP, a private IP address, which is a one of IP from its we can say okay, it's getting a response. LVIP will you can mention it to be static and it can be dynamic. It will always be IP from your subnet or subnet which only you have mentioned in the settings. So I hope we are very much clear with the public, private and its configuration. Oh, video is getting very long, so see you in next part of video and we will continue from same. Till then, bye bye. Thank you for visiting. Thank you for subscribe. Thank you. Bye.